Okay, so we have Reid Foltynewicz here. So just to start, what specifically motivated you to run for DuPage County Board?
Yeah, well, first I'll introduce myself. I am Reid Foltynewicz. I'm running for DuPage County Board, District 4, in this upcoming general election, which is November 8th. So thank you for having me, and this is same high school I graduated from, Wheaton South. The reason I got involved, a lot of different things, but really it started about 2 years ago. And my wife and I are both born and raised in District 4. We've been here our whole life, Lombard and Wheaton. And we started to see a uptick in crime. And it wasn't just the normal crime that we grew up with where your bike would get stolen or there'd be a retail theft and you never even knew about it, right? Someone would put something in their jacket or their purse, they'd walk out the store, it'd be pretty quiet. We've really had an uptick in violent crime. And so that bothered both of us. We didn't feel safe. We talked about moving. We have a lot of people our age that are leaving. That's one of the different reasons they're leaving. And so my wife and I, Rachel, talked about it. We said, well, I have an interest in running for county board. I've always had a passion for local government and for giving back that way. And it's really fits our expertise quite well. So I'm a deputy chief with the Oak Brook Police Department. Been doing that the last 16 years. And that's the number one budgetary item that we handle on the DuPage County Board is the Sheriff's Department. So I have that expertise, as well as being a trustee in the Village of Lombard for 8 years. 6 of those 8 years, I was the Finance and Administration Committee chair. So I have that financial background, and with Deputy Chief, that financial background, including that I was the law enforcement.
All right, great. So if elected, what are one of your 2 goals you hope to accomplish? I know you mentioned like crime reduction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once again, I could probably go on all day about all the different things I'd like to accomplish. Ultimately, I would love to, and it's selfish and selfless. Well, when I'm done, however long it is, whether it's 2 years, 4 years, however long I'm on the county board, I want people to look back and say, he was a net positive for our community. He did more harm than good. We're not going to be 100%, and everything that I do, it's for a reason, and I want to give back to the community. So in the end, I want people to say, I'm really glad he was on the board. He helped DuPage become even better than it is. When it comes to specific things, obviously, the violent crime needs to be cut down dramatically. So that's one thing that I want to work on right away. And there's going to be a lot of issues starting January 1st. So it's not a whole lot of time to relax. Hopefully, we've worked hard enough. We've earned enough support that we get elected. And when we do, it's right off the bat, we have to start handling that. Number 2 is the taxes and just the prices in DuPage County. The second reason that people are leaving is the money. When it comes to property taxes and just affordability in DuPage County, like I said, born and raised in Lombard and Wheaton, and my wife and I are fortunate enough that we looked around in Wheaton, Glen Ellen, Lombard, and couldn't afford Wheaton or Glen Ellen. So Lombard taxes were a lot cheaper, but now it's tough for anyone to stay. And so we've got a lot of friends and family that are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. They're leaving DuPage because it's just not affordable.
All right. Sounds great. So a more specific question related to Wheaton Warrenville South.
Yeah.
A quarter of students here at the school are considered low income, and this number could grow with the current inflation crisis you're dealing with that you kind of mentioned. So what are your specific plans to help assist low-income, disadvantaged families in the county?
Yeah, and that's continued to grow, right? I went to Wheaton South and I graduated in 2002, and we didn't have, it wasn't that high. Level of low-income families, and it's tough to hear and tough to see that, and that's only going to continue to grow, especially if we continue down the same path. So that is something that we have to tackle on a county level, is the property taxes. The taxes are just getting way too high. It's one thing if they were slowly going up, or even if there was a freeze, but we're talking thousands of dollars every year that they're going up. So yeah, there's just not affordable housing for a lot of people. So that's something that we need to tackle right away with that crime, because those kind of go hand in hand. So that's something specifically I want to handle, that there's always going to be a balanced budget. When it comes to me voting, I'm not going to be, one of those elected officials that's not looking down the road. I think a lot of things, it's easy. It's probably human nature that you want to get in office and you want to help people and you want to spend money and do all these great projects, but you're also not really thinking about the future, the future generation. You want to leave it better off than you had it. You want the
Right.
next board that comes in, and whatever year it is, that, oh, you know, thankfully from the previous board, they put us in a great position, and then they put the next board in an even better position. So
Yeah.
we need to really look at the future, and a lot of elected officials don't do that.
That sounds great. So,
Yeah.
one final thing. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the voters out there in the county?
Yeah, the biggest thing I would say to everyone out there is please do your own research when it comes to the Safety Act. The good news is people the past about 2 weeks have really started to educate themselves on what the Safety Act is and isn't. And that's just another thing that's really going to harm DuPage County as a whole. And what you need to do is when you're doing your own research about the Safety Act, just a few basic questions. Is the Safety Act going to make us safer or not? Is the Safety Act going to lower taxes or not? Is it going to be beneficial to businesses or not? And ultimately, is it better for your family to have the Safety Act? Look at those basic questions, and I think just about everyone's going to come to the same conclusion. And so, I can't stress that enough. That's going to be a big hit and a big impact to our county January 1st.
All right. I think that is it.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Great job.